When the aliens come, we will make great pets. A brand new Quinnipiac poll claims 59% of voters say President-elect Trump should delete his Twitter account. Finally, Hillary Clinton gets one of her wishes. But why on earth would he ditch a tool that has helped him win the White House by enabling him to deliver his message directly to his supporters, unmediated? Thank you, digital god. And sidestep a media which he obviously loathes.
I call them the corrupt media. Bad liars, real liars. Oh boy, see the dishonest people back there, the media, the totally dishonest, the dishonest press back there, the most dishonest people.
Oh, he loves them. At the same time, he clearly revels in the media's attention, and his campaign has benefited from the constant spotlight. But is their love-hate relationship one-sided, or are Trump critics also benefiting from the quarrels? Here was some unique insight into the media-White House dynamic. It's Dana Perino, former White House press secretary and co-host of The Five on the Fox News Channel. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So the holidays are now upon us. It seems as though Donald Trump, from the moment he announced for president, has been the gift that has continued to give for the media and his supporters and himself.
Yeah, it's a mutually beneficial relationship and mutually adversarial.
Yeah.
Right? And that's sort of just by design. So anytime the media is covering a government figure or a politician, that is a naturally adversarial relationship because the media is skeptical of the politician, and the politician actually needs the media to help him or her, but they're usually not that happy with the press coverage. I have a pretty high tolerance for negative coverage, even though, well, we had a lot of it in the Bush administration.
Yeah.
But I had a rule that I learned when I was press secretary in the, on the House side on Capitol Hill. And that was when you read an article, before you call up the reporter to rip him a new one.
That's the first thing you want to do.
Yeah, always say, my advice is read it twice.
Okay.
It's usually not as bad. And you know what is usually much worse than the article? It's the headlines. And most reporters do not write, actually the majority, maybe 99% of reporters do not write their own headlines.
Yeah.
It causes a huge amount of problems. And I actually had suggested one time that they should at least have to initial, because a headline can be so misleading, and that's what sticks in your head.
And now with new media and the fact that most of it is free, the only way these places make any money is if people are clicking on those headlines, which tend to be much more salacious. People take the story from the headline without actually reading it. So there is a disjunct there with journalists, but also journalists don't have to do as much work when you've got a president who's on Twitter providing them with fodder without them having to do the digging.
Right, so when he tweets, he talks directly to millions of people, and then actually that's multiplied because people retweet it or they comment on it, whatever. And then the media covers everything he tweets. So if I were Donald Trump, I would not give up my Twitter account.
Yeah, I agree with you completely there. And I know 59% of people say they don't want him on Twitter, but, you know, you really do get a sense of exactly what he's thinking and feeling. Lots of politicians are on social media, but they don't use it as this kind of an honest tool.
Right, well, a lot of politicians would say they don't have the time.
Yeah.
But he has decided, like, this is actually how I'm going to communicate with people and win them over and win.
Yeah.
Part of me just wants to end social media activity for myself, because I do think in some ways it is a time suck, and also it can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
And did you see what happened to the Politico editor?
No, what happened?
He tweeted the address of a white nationalist guy, a home address. Okay, he's like the head editor, and like in a moment of without thinking, and guess what? He had to resign.
Yeah, you can't put the toothpaste back in the horse.
So I think in some ways when 59% of people say they want him to not tweet, I actually think that it's probably most people who think they want him to succeed.
Yeah.
It's basically put it down, you don't need it anymore, we're going to pay attention to you no matter what, the media's going to cover you, it's not going to matter whether you tweet, and it's sometimes too risky.
Okay, so for the person who comes in as this White House press secretary, is that going to be the dream job of a lifetime, or is it going to be the lowest level of Dante's Inferno?
Oh gosh, it's a fabulous job, and it will change your life. I'm living proof of that, and I loved that job so much. But if you have somebody who is able to communicate directly without letting you know about it, that sets up kind of some difficulties for the press secretary. But here's the thing, it will just be a different sort of situation, whereas the press secretary, you're just going to have to roll with it. And also, I don't think the press secretary is going to have to feel like they need to explain everything that Donald Trump is saying or tweeting. The press will ask, and I think in a way that they just have to say, You saw what he said.
Yep.
I refer you to the president's tweet. It will be like the first time ever that those words are uttered.
Maybe more deference than spin. It's certainly going to be a different experience, and I'm glad that you will be taking it all in. And
I love it. This is my favorite part. The governing.
Yeah.
Not so much the campaigning.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, this transition time has certainly become so interesting, and you know, we thought it was going to be boring after the election.
Oh no.
Dana Perino, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, have a beautiful rest of your weekend.
Thanks
again.